All right, so today we're gonna be changing the throttle body. My TPS, my throttle position sensor went out, but on the new cars, they all come together like in the full set piece. So I was able to just buy the sensor like you could on I guess like older cars. So we're gonna be replacing the whole entire throttle body, come with the new sensor. Just quick things how I could tell. I replaced my spark plugs and my ignition coils. And I replaced those. Once I replaced those, about a week later, it still showed I had a misfire, but didn't show from where. All right, the check engine light went off, came back on, then it got marked for, it said something like throttle sensor this. So the car just stalled out. I didn't know why the car stalled out. I thought maybe because my foot slipped off the clutch or something like that, because it happens on the manual. Like certain things, it's hard to tell. But once I knew it wasn't that, a couple months later, it did it again. And once it did that again, I'm like, okay, dang. And the exhaust would sound like it's out of breath, like there's no fuel getting to the exhaust. So I'm thinking it's my fuel pump. Got the check engine light, came back on, checked it, it was that again. So when I learned more about it, bought the throttle body, got this from Advanced Auto Parts. I didn't buy it from offline this time. Got the OEM Bosch standard throttle body, nothing fancy. Yeah, I may put a spacer on there in the meantime, but it should be a simple install. Honestly, it should be a simple install. I'm going to unscrew the air filter right here, the hose. I'm gonna unhook this. It's a 10mm bolt here that's holding it on together. This is gonna come off. I heard it has a forever like O-ring in there to keep it. The only electric piece here is gonna be this clip here. Once I unclip that, that's the electric piece to it. So ain't nothing special about it. And because this is OEM, I don't have to change none of the insides out. Just pop right off. I'm going to take this sensor off too, just because I don't want nothing else in the way. May not be necessary, but I don't want nothing extra. Okay, so I'm going to take this off here. This off here, simple flathead. All right, so took the hose, whatever you want to call it, took that off. That was simple. Now we have full access. So these are, like I said, are just 10mm bolts. All four of these are gonna come off. I'm gonna take off this sensor here, and the whole throttle body will come off. All right, so once you take off this bottom screw here, you're good, bro. Once you take off, I can't even see where am I? So once you take off this bottom screw here, this sensor right here is gonna, well, this piece right here is gonna be connected to it. All right, it's gonna dangle here, it's fine. So we got the throttle body took off as well. This piece came off. I'm not too sure what this is, but y'all can look inside of it. Like it was time, like it was time, definitely. Okay, you see the oil smudge and stuff like that. Y'all leave in the comments what y'all think caused this, so I really know. Like, hopefully I'll put this new one on and it solves the problem. All right, this sensor, I'm assuming has to be took off. Well, this electric piece has to be took off as well. Okay, so make sure I'll take this off. Simple push down like any other fuse, and it's gonna come right off. This is the old one here. Okay. This is the new one here. All right. All right, so we got everything new put on, all four bolts, everything back right off as we took it. Okay, everything hooked up. Now we're just gonna put back together the air filter, plug that sensor back in, and then we'll be straight. We'll be good. It looks good, looks shiny. All right, and that's complete. Everything locked back in, got the sensor locked back in, air filter, everything's really, man, plug and play, honestly. Plug and play. Let's crank this baby up and see how we rocking.
I did.
All right, as you guys seen, that first, everything on right now. The first crank up was horrible, sounded real waffled. What I've been doing it now, just letting it just idle. All right, let it just idle. Keeping it at about 2,000 RPMs, let the car adjust to the new part. All right. That's all we're doing right now, letting it just settle down. I have my sensor now, my little thingy, my reader. I'm finna delete the check engine light now to make sure that, you know, everything's good. Let the car know everything's, the new parts on there and everything like that. So hopefully we did everything the right way. I mean, I got all the bolts, took it off just how I took it back on. So I know the car needs some time to adjust and stuff like that. So we'll see here. All right, so what we're gonna do to reset the car's engine lights, we're gonna take off the negative, okay? Loosen that up, leave it here for about 2 minutes, and everything should reset. Your radios, everything should reset, okay? Then you can keep riding with it, and you can see really if you fix the problem or not. All right, so it took away all the lights, as you guys seen. But what it also did was you have to reset everything. All right. Keep that off. Learning in progress, all the tire pressures. I only had like 2 sensors on, so that's gonna read like that. But yeah, that trick, just if your check engine light on, you need to reset it. Take off your ground cable for 2-3 minutes, connect it back on, everything's gonna be reset. I keep the aux on, so I don't even know I don't listen to the radio. But yeah, so everything should be good. Now we'll see, once you install it, you do have to ride a little smooth. Wait. Once you install it, you will need to ride a little more smooth for a little while. Let the car adjust to the new sensors. Let the car adjust to just the new part. You know, it's new, so give it time to warm up to the motor. Give it time to warm up. So don't put that shit all the way down. Don't ride it all, jump to 6th gear and stuff like that, man. Give it some time. But that's it, man. That's that install. Y'all stay tuned for more. Like I said, every week we doing something to the car, doing something to the lifestyle. Like, yo, y'all stay tuned.
I'm fake, that's your opinion, that's just y'all story. Just face the fact I was y'all blessed, but y'all ignored it.